Happy Tuesday, friends. We're so happy to be back here with you on Ask a Designer. Hey, Izzy, how are you?
I'm good, Phil. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm very excited to hang out with you today and all of our friends in the chat, hanging out with us live or watching the replay. On this show, if you've seen it before, welcome. You know the drill. If you've not seen it before, let us lay the land of what goes on. We bring our real life client projects to the table and solve problems, we would say, right? Challenges through design. And we try to, right, Izzy? We try to tackle a different topic every single week. Today, we're going to be talking about logos. We're going to be talking about badges, social media graphics, and I hope to uncover some of the types of things that that don't get as much airtime, like Pinterest. We're going to have all kinds of fun today with one of my favorite clients. You ready for this, Izzy?
I am ready.
Fantastic. So to lead into today's discussion, I'm going to throw to my dear friend, Lisa, who has a little video message for us. Let's see it.
Hi, I'm Lisa Marie Todd, a digital media consultant and lifestyle entrepreneur. Fun fact, I was Phil's very first client when he moved to Los Angeles. And back then, I owned a jewelry and home fragrance company and produced content as a food creator, making videos and hosting a live cooking show. And Phil helped me to create the logo for my brand and appetizing life. Now, my brand has evolved, and today I also focus on helping women over 50 who want to become content creators and gain more visibility online. So, my question is, how can I create new logos for the workshops that I offer my clients and show them how simple it is to make a logo for any purpose?
Oh, Lisa, we can definitely accomplish that today on our show. So much is we talk about things that are, we can do in Photoshop, Illustrator, bring that over to Express. But I feel like the theme of this week and specifically this show is to really like dial things down a little bit and talk about some of this from the very beginning. I think what makes Express so magical is that anyone can hop in here and ideate, create what they've got on their mind. And that is what we're going to do today with some little sub-branded logos for this ever-evolving brand of Lisa's. Are you up for the
It's,
challenge?
oh, definitely up for the challenge. I want to say that Lisa is here on YouTube with us. So hi, Lisa,
Yes.
and thank you for
Hey,
hanging
Lisa.
out. Yes.
Hey, Lisa. Hey, friends in the chat. I'm checking my screens over here. We've got Robert. We've got Ray. We've got Lisa. I'm so glad we do. We'll keep an eye on the chat and we're going to definitely involve you guys. I'm going to hop over to my screen where I am sharing our remixable template. Usually I mention this at the top that this is where we kind of dump any of the resources that we work on during the show. We put them here. I'm going to flip over very quickly to my own website where I've actually cataloged my project from years ago. Lisa, you said it in your video. We've worked together on so many exciting things as your brand has evolved. This is straight from my website. It's using the brand, or I should say it's showcasing the brand that we're going to use today in Express. Lisa's got her brand set up as a brand kit in Express, just giving you a little preview of what we created when we worked together. The premise of the brand back in this day when we created it was food blogging, but how relatable is this, Izzy? Like all of our brands evolve all the
Oh my
time.
gosh.
Like when I, yeah,
Yes.
like when
It
I
would
think
be a
about it,
problem. Yeah, it would be a problem if they weren't evolving, right? So
good
if
point.
if the brand is evolving, that means that you are as a business as well. So this is a very good sign.
The number of clients that have come back to me and said, Phil, I love my logo and I love my brand, but what I do nowadays is slightly different than when we worked on it. You'd actually be shocked. Typically, it involves very minimal adjustments
Mhm.
to still keep the essence of the brand. I feel like, Izzy, when you're branding responsibly, you're not just taking the brand or the function for face value, you're really digging deeper into the purpose. And a lot of times that
Absolutely.
doesn't really change.
Exactly.
Okay.
That
So
yes,
on,
let's
oh, go
hop.
ahead. Sorry.
I was
Yeah,
just gonna
let's
say
hop
that
in.
let's hop in. I'm excited for today's like challenge. So
The challenge is going to be designing what we're calling like a badge or a sub-brand icon for Lisa's workshop. So I have just a Google Doc here that Lisa provided us. Again, we solve real world challenges on this show. Lisa wants a logo for her mini workshop. So we'll come back to some of this copy. We probably won't need all of it, but it's always great to have that for reference as we're designing. I went ahead and found some examples on Behance and on Pinterest of badges, Izzy, to inspire us. So some different types of styles. Some of these might be more difficult to pull off and express, maybe more like
Mhm.
Illustrator, but you call out if you see any here that excite you.
I mean, I like anything that is rounded because it's kind of like a badge. And for a workshop, I think that's really cool because it could be like, it is Lisa sealed, approved, or something like that, which I think is a fun
Hmm.
play. I also like the half circle, upside down or upside up, because I
Hmm.
think that could make a really cool sticker afterwards as well. So it could be transitioned into merch. I mean, yeah, the ones with the blue background, I like a lot.
Yeah,
The
I'm on that
little
screen right now.
crab.
I love
Yeah,
these. The
they're
little crab is
fun.
so cute.
It's so
Again,
cute.
some of these are really intricate and these are likely designed after hours and hours and hours. We're going to tackle what feels possible and doable in the amount of time we have on today's show because I really want to reinforce so much of this,
Hmm.
so much of just having these ideas in your head you can actually create and express, if even as a starting point for an idea that you have. So I'm showing the last page here on the white background, a few little badges. These are kind of like retro vibes. This helping hands one Izzy, I thought was kind of fun if we want to
Hmm.
do something very simple. I'm going to hop over to a blank canvas, which I think is page 5 in our shared document. And friends, let me hop over to brands. You'll see here very quickly that I have an appetizing life set up as a brand. This is so easy to do in Adobe Express. Right here, we've got logos, we've got color palettes. If I click view all, you'll see all of them. Izzy, do you do this? Where I actually create like one palette that are the primary colors, and then I have secondary palettes with the primary color and the lighter shades. I wondered if you did that. I always do that with
This is
my client
good.
brands.
I should do that more actually. I don't. My clients like to have a lot of flexibility when it comes to color, but I've noticed that
Mm,
sometimes that can be overwhelming. So
yes.
having that is a very good idea. And you can also say, this you use 90% of the time, this you use 20% of the time, and this is only for accent, so 5% of the time. And it gives them a bit more structure. So I should do it more,
No,
is what I'm
this is the
saying.
point. In Express, you can adapt it in so many different ways depending on the project you're working on. And I'll just call out here, we've got a body and header font. This we chose years ago when working on this project. I think we would keep things like colors and fonts static today. And then assets is where I put sometimes icons. By the way, these are SVG files, which is super cool that we can have those, not just PNGs and JPEGs in Express, but also SVG. So pretty awesome. And then I've got some headshots in case we want to use some images of Lisa doing her thing.
This is great. So, Phil, I want to preface by saying that, and maybe while we do this, you can start us off by doing a logo in the logo maker.
Good idea. I'll
And
hop
I
over
want,
here.
yes, maybe you explain that, and then I'll explain a little bit about logo design.
You have strong opinions on this, and I can't wait to hear them. Friends, we're on the home page. We're on the home. I'm laughing. You'll know why in a second. We're on the home page of Express. We're going to click that purple plus sign. We're going to then say quick actions and then logo maker, which is in beta. I use this all the time, really to help people have a starting point. And Lisa, you summed this up so beautifully in your intro video. By the way, I didn't even tell people that I'm going to be with Lisa in person on Thursday at Adobe Live in person. So we're just kind of getting things started today, but that's something to look forward to. But I love Logo Maker for like starting an idea. I don't necessarily think this is where you're going to design a logo that's equivalent to what a designer is capable of doing after spending hours researching and creating in a platform like Illustrator. But certainly, it says here, let's get started. And I feel like this is a great place to get started. Izzy, do you agree?
It's yes, I love that you said get started because there is something to be said about having a good logo that truly differentiates a business and truly targets a specific target audience and that connects with an audience. And this takes years of like mastery and a lot of intricacy depending on where you're going with the logo, of course. So now with AI, people are scared about like, oh, is it going to replace my skills? And I would say to that, no. I think it's a really great place to start having some ideas on positioning, on what can be done with a specific prompt. You start with AI, you don't necessarily finish with it because you can easily download everything that you make here to start as ideation, bring it back to Illustrator or Photoshop, where in whichever platform that you're usually designing logos with, and then change stuff around and make it your own. And this is the beauty of AI. It's like helping us go faster and maybe go into places that we don't know that we could go.
Beautifully, beautifully put. And I feel like we're going to go through the process here in 5
Mhm.
steps to use the logo maker. But again, and I'm going to say it more bluntly, what you create in Logo Maker is not necessarily a replacement for what you could be doing as a designer or working one on one with a designer. It's just, you'll see here, it's amazing what we can create, but it's not a replacement.
Mhm.
I'm fine saying that out loud. I get really excited because I think, Izzy, we spend and we get to spend time like wondering about the possibilities. So hopping into Express like I do Behance, even I hop onto Behance to just get ideas and just soak in inspiration. I didn't do a good job of explaining that last slide, did I? Not good at multitasking. Here we enter the we enter the brand or the business name. If we want, this is optional. If you find your industry, you can select it. Obviously, an appetizing life is not a restaurant, but it has some food
Mhm.
references. And so I'm going to select that. That's the closest one. If you don't see your category, don't worry. Again, it's optional. You can click other. You'll see later on how this becomes more important. We'll click next. Second step is style. I actually think this is probably the most important step in this process, this 5-step process. You really want to spend some time actually considering what is the brand identity that I have and that I want. And there isn't necessarily a right answer. You may come back and try this a few times, but is it minimal? Is it bold? Is it elegant or organic? Chances are it might be a combination of a few of these. I might
Mhm.
describe this brand as organic, but I might describe it also as bold. I think the colors make it bold and the
I think
imagery make it
bold.
bold.
Mhm.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and choose that. We're going to click next. And then from here, you start to explore layouts and ideas as starting points. Like there's really a lot to look at here and get inspiration from. Izzy, any of these standing out to you?
Um, hmm. That
You're like,
orange
not
one, because
really. The orange one.
the orange one at the top, I like because of
Miss
the
Misty.
colors. Yes.
Great. We're going to choose this one because you're the big boss around here. And then I'm just going to play around with some keywords here. Obviously, we entered an appetizing life as the brand name. If we're going to make this as a sub-branded icon, we can dial that in further. The beauty of all of this that we're working on, this becomes completely editable in Express, which you'll see momentarily. So workshop, that's a little bit more ambiguous. We're going to get some like tools, which is not what we want. Let's do citrus.
Ooh.
If we're
How about
playing with
spices?
spices. Ooh, let's try it. And so, yeah, I actually really like that when choosing. And this is more demonstrative today. So we want to show you an example, but this is something you can easily adapt for the project that you're working on. So even if you might already have a logo as part of your brand, or you may have worked with a designer, or you brought it as far as you can on your own. Logo Maker is great for a sub brand, just like we're working on. This is like awesome for that. I actually kind of like
Mhm.
this little pepper shaker. It looks like a
Oh,
little chess
yes.
piece.
That's
This is
awesome.
also kind of cute. This little leaf, it kind of looks like growth. I'm just going to
Hmm.
select this and see where we land. So this fifth step is where we start to edit the final version. And when you think about how quickly we were able to create this, it's kind of amazing. Um, we haven't even officially hopped into Express yet. You can click these layers, drag them. If we want, we can single click toggle color Izzy, I need you to be bolder and less polite than you normally are and just scream out when you see something that you like. Okay.
Okay.
I
Gonna
do not want politeness from you today.
Okay, I'll like shove the Canadian
You
away.
kind Canadian. Exactly.
I mean, I feel like we can play with that, like that purple and orange,
Hmm.
because we can adjust it to the logo colors that you have already.
Exactly. Because we've set this up as a brand and Express, it's going to be really easy to adjust this. So, friends, if you're really happy with what you've created in 5 steps on Logo Maker, go ahead and click download. Otherwise, click edit more, and that's going to bring us right into Express. I think for the simplicity of this, Izzy, I'm going to paste this into our, nope, shared. Here, let me see if I can copy this and paste this into our shared. Here we go. There we go.
There you
Into our
go.
shared document where you and I both are. And friends, we just wanted to show you, right? Today's all about ease and simplicity. Hopefully, you've already played with the logo maker. If not, it's a really fun, quick action in so many cases to ideate. If anything, you hop in there and you get an idea. Maybe it's an icon that you hadn't thought of. Like I didn't think about spices, Izzy. That's a great keyword
Mm-hmm.
for this project. It's just a really great feature to get those ideas rocking. Let us know in the chat. Have you played around with the quick action that is Logo Maker? Keep an eye on that chat as we continue to design here.
All right. Do you want
Oh,
me to take over?
I kind of do. Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay.
I like when you get bossy. When we get designing, it's like Izzy's like, okay, my turn. Step aside, Phil.
Like, all right, let's do this. So if we can hop over to my screen, we will get started. So something that I liked, so Phil, you mentioned that helping hands that you really liked.
I
Um,
did.
and let's see if we can maybe make a few. I would like to try to do something like this, like the worldwide bear hibernation,
Yep.
because I really like it. You know what? I'm gonna be copy pasting this and bringing it onto our artboard here because I want to have a reference that I can look at all time, even if it's tiny, just so it's there. And I'm going to lock it. I'm literally using this right now as if I was an illustrator. So I'm kind of excited to see what I can do. This is a massive challenge. Okay.
I like it though. I like it.
Me
This
too.
is, by pushing yourself, this is how you learn new things. And
Mm-hmm.
there's still going to be things you do in Photoshop and in Illustrator. And what we do in Express is not meant to replace that. In so many instances, it's really meant to complement that workflow. So I love this little challenge for us.
But you know what, too? Sometimes by changing our ways and using another platform to build a logo, or like even if it's not necessarily the final form, this is again where you can unlock potential that you did not know. And by breaking the process, sometimes this is when you can find new ideas because sometimes you get so used to doing the same process time and time and again that you're locking yourself in on creativity. This is
Good
very
point.
much like I try to do a different process at a different challenge every time. Maybe I'm making my life very hard for no reason, but I have to say, and I mean, I'm very biased when I say this, that I do achieve pretty great results on a regular basis. So,
I would say so. And we get to showcase those on this show, which is even better.
yes. Okay, so I'm looking at this here, and do we know? I mean, you said that this brand was created like when you started. So do you have the year when it was created?
Yeah. Maybe we put in a placeholder year for now. Lisa, you let us know in the
Okay,
chat. What was the year that An Appetizing Life was created? It's so fun to have our real life clients actually in the chat.
in the
Maybe we put like
chat.
2015 for now. Believe we did this brand in 2017.
Okay, now,
I'm also going to, Izzy, I'm going to duplicate our text
awesome.
layer and I'm going to put the name of the workshop, the title of the workshop, just so we have some reference. And I'll make that much smaller in case we want to bring in that text into the design.
Oh yes, this is. Oops, not that. I want to change this color here. There you go. I was not in the proper place to change the color. So we have the leaf here. I'd really love to see the salt, the pepper shaker in here. I think that would be fun.
By the way, Lisa said 2016, so my guess was pretty
Perfect.
close.
Okay, here I actually don't want to have a fill because it's an icon. I need to go to shape instead. There you go. That's what I want. So basically now I'm playing around. I want to be
I'm adding
bringing
in
my layers.
mini workshop. I'm going to separate out the layers of the text that we might need in this badge.
Amazing. You know what? I will
My favorite part today was when you were like, Phil, is it my time to take over? Like, can you like step aside now? Thank you. Was basically the energy
Oh
of
my
that.
goodness. It's like, that's when you know you're getting very comfortable with someone. It's like, hey, okay, my turn.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay. No. What am I doing
I
here?
love
I
it.
want to center it. There you go. And I can see here if I just like pull that reference. Oh, it's locked. I did
Yes,
that
you
to
locked it.
myself. Just if we go big, there is a stroke around the shapes. So I will be doing that here too. Let me just lock that back in. So is black part of the brand?
It's not, but it
Because
could
it's
be. It
okay.
could be. Yeah. That's actually, it's funny. When you and I were talking a second ago about reflecting on how we all evolve, now I'm very strict about every brand color palette having typically 4 to 5 colors and having range. I did this in
Mm-hmm.
2017 where I wasn't quite as rigid about those rules, but
Okay.
the color palette is missing it's missing a black. And when we
Mm-hmm. For
say
contrast.
for contrast, when we say black, we don't actually mean #000. We could, but
Mm-hmm.
it could be a dark charcoal, it could be a dark brown. It's always a good idea within your color palette to have that kind of range. You've got the lighter tones, the accent colors, and the darker or the black. So yes, I give
Brown
you
is
full
a
permission to use.
I love the brown idea. I feel like it's less harsh. So let's actually do this, like add this.
I love that.
A chocolate brown. There you go.
It's funny when you look at those kind of example badges that we're referencing today for inspiration. It's kind of like, where do you begin? And literally, is you begin with a circle, and then you put
And then
a
just, yeah,
stroke on the circle. Yeah, just like one piece at a time, and it gradually comes together.
exactly. There you go. And I want to do the same thing for the icon right here. Enter. Literally, it's like insane how I'm like designing as if it was in Illustrator right now. I would be doing the exact same thing.
That's
So let
cool.
me, yes, that is cool. Because I did not know how this would go today, to be honest.
I know.
Like sometimes we
Sometimes
have
you and
idea,
I,
folks. Yes, we have ideas.
yeah,
We don't know how it's gonna go. So
we pick a topic. We're like, oh, we know this one really well, and then we pick
yeah.
another one. We're like, this is new for us too, but that's half
Yeah,
the fun.
it is. And we're literally sharing our learnings together with all of you, which is
Mhm.
the best thing ever. So let's see here. Might need to make this a tad smaller.
Relying on
Maybe
those
these
guides and
two.
express to keep things centered
Yes.
and organized. We love
Maybe I
them.
can. Because this here is meant to be small. Again, if I look
Yep.
at this, and here I will use the align tool. I'm holding my shift key and to make sure I have both selected, and I'll go to middle and I will group them. Then I will center everything like that. There you go.
Can you talk through that once again?
Yes, so I have selected both the 20 and the 16. I have grouped it. Now I just ungrouped it, grouped it. I have selected all the elements. So all my circles, my icon, and my text went to the align at the top and then did center. So just like put everything together in the center. Again, something that I
Genius.
do all the time in Illustrator. Very easy to do here as well. So for this here, I feel like, again, it could be like the worldwide. So we could go to text layout right here and do an arch like so. Is this the proper font?
That's a good question. That might not be. Let me see if it is. It is not. So let me apply the right brand font. Thankfully, when we have this set up in
There you go.
Express, we can easily click our body. Let me actually, Izzy, I'm going to give you two versions.
Okay.
One with the header font, one with the body font, and then you can choose which one you like better. Our header font is Play Fair Display, a classic.
Oh, this is nice. I
And our
like
body
this here.
font is
Let's
Open
see.
Sans.
Okay, now can we... This will take a bit of adjusting because we cannot necessarily... Can we? No. The arch is not changing as if it was an Illustrator, so we'll just need to adjust the shapes around it.
I wonder
Because I
if
want to
we
make
add
sure...
spaces before Anne and Life. That should help us adjust, I think.
Or sometimes this is like in the font itself, but this is a good idea.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, wait.
I am the king of workarounds since I was not classically trained in Photoshop or Illustrator. I'm always like, how can I make this work? The other thing we could do, if we can't get it right, we could put all the text in and make it go circular, and that should definitely help us achieve a circle.
Let's see. That's actually a great idea. And then...
Maybe we do build your digital presence.
Let's do an arch again.
Okay.
Maybe if I did this. This feels right to me. This feels good. I mean, let me know in the chat. There's a tiny thing that's unbalanced, but I think for a badge, I think we are good with this.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. Is there a...
So all you did was change the font there to get a different arch?
Pretty much, because the kerning between the letters, sometimes that's what is affecting it. So I'm just like, okay, but you added those spaces on the side too, which has helped a lot. Because if you've noticed, the more letters you have, the smaller the letters get in Express, which actually made it a little easier to like have text on an arch. It doesn't work like that in Illustrator. You need to like adjust things manually. So depending on how much control you want to get, or if you're looking for easy solution, this is definitely an easy solution. I want to see how it looks
says,
like.
Looks great. Thank you, Robert.
Oh, good. Thank you. Okay. So here, I think we can also bring down the year a tiny bit, just so it has room to breathe. And we will also change it into the right font, which was... Is it Open? No, it was...
Yeah, Open Sans is the body and Playfair is the header font for this brand.
Okay, perfect. I have this. So let me just change this. Do we want it in bold? No, let's do it in semi-bold, because we want the main title, or not name of the business, to be bolded. So semi-bold. Oh, and it's not the right
Something I like that you're doing is going off script a little bit for a sub brand, right? I mean, we're using the brand, but you've gone ahead and made it bold. I say when you're working on like a sub branded project or a badge, an icon, you should follow maybe 80% of the brand but give yourself some flexibility to veer off slightly. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. You can create some visual interest. Like in this case, the bold font makes it easier to read.
Indeed. Okay, so now I just want to copy menu workshop because I want to do that as the arch under, which is called a bow. There you
A
go.
boat. Oh, a boat.
A
I thought you
bow,
said boat.
like
A bow.
or,
Yes, a
or
bow.
or bow, bow.
No, you got it. Bow.
My English sometimes. And again, this is where we will need to trick it with adding some spaces.
Space.
Yeah. Or can we change the text size? So here it's 34. Maybe we do the same thing here at 34. No. Oh, yes. It's staying at, no, it's going back at 44. Okay. How about we just do workshop instead of mini workshop?
Sounds good to me.
Copy. So then if ever we need to go back, it's easy. Again, something I would do in Illustrator. Let's do this and then make it back at 34. And what we need to do at the end too, some spacing.
So we are adjusting the bow with some spaces. We are tricking it into thinking. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice and centered.
Somewhat centered, but it will
Mostly
do.
centered. Yeah. It's close.
Like so.
It's very close, Izzy. I'm very impressed.
Very thick. And then we'll go back to bold so it matches.
Yes.
I mean, yes. I kind of want to try the text in white just because it might give us like a bit of better contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I mean, I like this.
I like it too.
Lisa, what do you think? Do you like this? Can we try another icon, Phil? Because this to me is not giving like, it's not giving food. So
what we would do, hop over to elements. And under elements, you've got a few options. Probably the best place to go for this would be icons, which is actually in that logo maker process. That's exactly the database where it's pulling for those logos. So it's really the same place. So don't put a ton of pressure on yourself in that 5-step logo maker process. That's cute.
I'm just gonna pull a few.
Get the icon perfect. Pull a few.
How about we pull a few and then we make the chat vote on which icon we should use. Let's do that.
We love interaction here at Ask a Designer.
I'll just do cooking.
I'll always do a combination of like very literal searches and then more ambiguous. So it's almost like if you're going to type carrot, that's literal. Vegetarian is more ambiguous, just as an example. I can't wait to chat with Lisa on Thursday about the way her awesome brand has evolved and appetizing life. Love that.
Let's do this. So, okay. So we have the hand, the whisk, the asparagus, and the kitchen. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us know. We'll add some text like with the numbering. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's good that I can count today. And let me zoom in so everyone can see here. What do we
are asking for you to vote 1 through 4 for on the icon that will go on the badge for an appetizing life workshop.
I mean, I have my favorite. Can you guess my favorite so far?
Yeah. I know you pretty well, and I'm pretty sure you're going to choose number 2.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. Yes.
Yeah,
Waiting. Oh, we have
we're getting some
Tira's,
votes.
yeah, number 2. But not
What
because I
else? I know
said
there's a
it.
little delay. We've got
Everyone
a
will say,
3, a
I mean,
vote
the
for 3. Someone
asparagus.
loves the
Yeah.
asparagus. That's Axel. We'll wait here a
Asparagus
few
is
more
cool
seconds
too.
to see. I think
While
the
we, d-
asparagus is cool, but why don't you
Me
go ahead
too.
and design with the one you like, Izzy?
So you know what? I think I want to try something where we have the actual logo in the background here and then put the icon
Mm.
on top. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, hold on. So
Lisa
we go back.
also voted number 2. Good
Okay,
taste
well,
here. So I
it's
think Lisa gets like 2 votes, you know?
yes, definitely. So let's put this actually the same color because I want to be able to see those lines here.
Yep.
You know what? Yes, actually, I'll put this white. Then I'll bring this like so. Actually, let me remove this here. So this is an organic shape. Maybe it won't work. I'm just trying something out here. Let's see.
You are allowed to try whatever you want. And sometimes that's what we have to do. We just have to try it to see if it works.
Can we crop
You
into a
don't know until
circle?
you
Because
try. Yeah,
we can. We can
we
crop into a
absolutely can.
circle. Oh my goodness. Here's like there you go. I mean,
Your
that's
genuine enthusiasm is really giving me life right now. We can.
we can?
Wait, talk us through to
Okay,
talk us
let
through
me do
how we
this
would do
again.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm like copied this way too many times. So here, sorry, let me just add this again.
We love the crop tool in Express, and it
It's
is
like
so useful.
I'm seeing it as a gray square at the moment.
Oh, I
But
can help you
oh,
out. What about
there you
now?
go. Now it's okay. But if we can maybe go to your screen for 2 minutes, then we can
Sure.
come back. Yes. Sorry about that, folks.
So we'll flip over to my screen. You do not need to apologize, Izzy. This is why we are a team. So here we've got this great little icon. I'm going to move some of our icon options just out of frame slightly so you can see this. Oh, that didn't work. I need to group them. So right here, we'll click the icon and then we select crop and we have all of these options under shapes to be able to crop. So if you select that shape, that should give us those minor adjustments on the edges of this intentionally irregular logo, and that's going to give us a circle. This is another one of those examples, right, Izzy, where like it's okay to break some of the rules of a brand, particularly for a sub brand. I want to try one more thing. We were to actually crop this. If we were to crop it even closer in, it should give us a
Yes,
perfect.
perfect. So I was gonna ask.
I knew you were going to, because there's still a few edges left. I know you. This should give us that perfect circle. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that. That's what you wanted.
Yes, amazing. And you know
We
what?
think,
I
oh my
will.
gosh, how simple a crop tool, but it's actually, this is really powerful.
Oops, not that.
Look at that.
I'm so sorry.
Look at
Okay.
that. Izzy, that was such a good idea to add the logo into this circle. This
Yes.
is why you get paid the big bucks.
But now I actually want to make sure that we see the icon on top. So maybe the background shouldn't be white. It should be just a little bit different, like another shade of that blue, which let me go back to find this layer here. And I'm gonna use my color picker and just go like a tiny bit. There you go, like that. Because if I want to bring in the whisk on top, because this is an icon that uses lines. I just
Yes.
want to make sure that we can still see it, but we still have that depth of the logo, which we are used to seeing and recognize. So I'm just copying the color code, the X code from the circle and just pasting it into the fill of color for the icon. And then let's add it at the top. It might be too much. We're trying something here. Sometimes we need to try and say, oh, no, it's not a good idea.
Do you ever do what I do and stare at your screen squinting to
Oh,
decide if
yes,
something's good or not? It's
all
like
the
I do
time.
this.
And you know what? I'm actually going to lower the opacity a little bit, like so. And going to select everything and center it again. Is this still, no, this is ungrouped, the 16 and 20. Just group that.
Ray has a good point. If you double click on the icon, you'll see the crop handles. Thank you, Ray. Thank you for that reminder. That is true. For some reason, I always click that crop icon. So, we have multiple ways of doing things in Express, and everyone kind of lands on the way that they do it.
So I'm pretty happy with this. What do you think?
I think it looks really good. I think it looks really cool. And you could also do multiple versions of it. I like that center icon. I think it's super cool. I mean, maybe if we have time, we could do one more take on it.
Yes. So how about, because this could be for a workshop, it could be for something else. But I also want to make sure, Phil, that we have time to do an image for Pinterest.
Pinterest. Yeah, great.
Let me just, which we can add the badge to.
That is exactly what we will do.
I'm trying to just group everything, so it's like easy to move around. Okay, so another take. Maybe we remove this. We have another icon. Maybe we change the word, or instead of workshop, what can we write?
Maybe type something general, like I sometimes type something like business or writing or something like that.
Business. Or how about cooking?
Cooking, yep, great. Because that
Cooking
that references the culinary nature of this brand. Izzy, what I'm going to do is create an additional page in this document for us to talk a little bit about Pinterest.
Okay, perfect.
That'll come next. If we want to switch to my screen for just a second while Izzy is working away on that, I want to show you what I often do here. So we all know posting on Instagram, the size of a portrait would be, well, most of you would know, 1080 by 1350 tall. We probably memorized that by now. Those are the optimal dimensions for a feed post, but you might not know what size would we want to make a Pinterest bin. So what I often do here is I hop into Express, type the keyword of the image or the project type that I'm looking for. Notice that you can hover over those different types. And this might also be news to you. We think about Pinterest as like a single image. Now, even on a platform like Pinterest, there's so many ways to post. So the video content you're creating, by the way, for Reels, for YouTube Shorts, or for TikTok, that content can also live on Pinterest. I wanted to talk about Pinterest today because it really fits with like a culinary blog, a food blogger, but not just food, also business. It's really, I think, one of the platforms that doesn't get enough attention that it deserves. So let's actually just hover over here and decide. I think what we'll do, Izzy, I'll add a page on this canvas. I think we're going to go 1000 by 1500. So I'll hop back over to our canvas. I'm going to click custom size, and I'm going to go 1000 by 1500. Obviously, if I chose that option from the homepage of Express, it's going to start a new project. One of my favorite things is that in Express, we can keep everything in one place, including pages that are multiple or different sizes, rather. So I'm going to just pop in some graphics here to get started, get some inspiration. I pulled some images of Lisa that might serve as some inspiration of the content that you'd want on a pin. You know what I'm realistically going to do is just throw a bunch of assets on here and then call my friend Izzy. Say, Izzy, help. That's normally what I do here on Ask a Designer. Okay, great. And then I might throw on a photo of Lisa's updated headshot, which is looking beautiful and in those wonderful brand colors. Let's check that out. Izzy, how you doing over there? Should we hop back over to you for a second and check in with you?
I'm
This
like,
is looking cool.
I'm switching things up.
You've gone
Let's
rogue.
see.
I love it.
Yes. So I wanted to see. I like the lobster here. So I wanted to have maybe something a little similar. So yes, I've gone rogue. I like to break the rules.
That is not only allowed here on Ask a Designer, it is encouraged.
Yes. Also, how you get to a fun design result is by breaking the rules. It's good to know the rules, but it's also good to like break them sometimes because you can just achieve something that you did not know you maybe could achieve.
Yes.
So
Love that you're having fun with those gears, tilting the icon like
yeah,
that.
they're fun.
It's really cool.
They are fun. Let me align this again.
Idara has
Not like that.
reposted our remixable template in the chat. Thank you for doing that. We mentioned earlier in the show that we will always build on our singular remixable template for Ask a Designer. So we tackle a different
Sure.
topic every single week and we build on that. So you can hop in there and get some stuff from previous episodes. Oh, I love that icon, Izzy.
This is a lot better. It fills in the space a lot more, which is great. So let me just make sure that arch is matching. And then maybe this is where we add mini workshop at the bottom. Like so.
I should also mention, I think you've done a good job of illustrating this today, but our typical like designer workflow for this would likely involve a little bit of Illustrator, a little bit
Yes.
of Express. Today, though, the whole goal and theme of what we've been talking about is see what you can do to ideate in Express if you're not comfortable in some of these other platforms. I think what makes Express really unique is that it's like a totally safe and welcome and encouraged place for even people that have never designed anything to be able to hop in here and actually create. And that makes me really excited when I have clients that like feel like they've accomplished so much by just knowing how to use this amazing tool and start to build comfort and confidence. That's really my goal.
Here you go. So I'm liking this. We got a comment earlier from Axel saying that the white is getting lost here. So yes, there could be a bit more contrast. So let's go fix that. And I'm going to copy.
This is when we play
like,
this is when we say our chat is our client.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So this here. And I'll go back to that brown color. Actually, just copy this. I don't know why it's giving me this. I want to have the color code, but I'll take this. Or I'll just put it black for the sake of it. There you go. And this I feel like needs to be black too now. We have like barely any time for that that post, but
Do you know what the good news is?
You did it already.
I have not fully done it. I have started it, but unlike typical weeks, Izzy, where we blast for as much as we can within an hour, at least I have uh, Thursday to look forward to with Lisa. So we're going to continue to build out the Pinterest templates. And it's going to be almost like a little mini branding workshop on Thursday. Today was just kind of like the little appetizer of what we could do for a specific need for an appetizing life as this brand has evolved. I've started this design. We'll probably continue on it. Which screen are we on? I think we're on your screen, right, Izzy? So
Yes, we are. Do you want me to?
do we want to take a look at our two badges side by side, maybe?
Sure. Let me actually clean this up so we have a clean,
beautiful, clean slate.
Yes. Let's group it.
Yep. That's very important. So that when you click and drag those icons around, it moves all of the elements.
And you know what?
Friends, this is typically not something you could do in Express. So we really challenged ourselves today to bring it to life. I'm very excited. What were you going to say, Izzy? I cut you off.
I was going to say, let's add a beautiful shot of Lisa in the back like this. So then we can have the full idea. I have a vision. It's gonna work.
It usually does. I always trust your instinct.
And then let's apply an effect, like a nice duotone, like so. Play with the transparency a little bit. Let me adjust that quickly. There you go. That a bit more nice. On brand. Just like, personally, this is how I would present the, let me actually X that so we can have like a bigger look. There you go. I would present something like this to a client in a presentation, just so they can have the full idea. So having an image like this that is them, they can fully see the full picture essentially. So presentation is also something that is very important when you're working with clients.
Amen. Axel says, awesome. Nice work.
Yay.
Some other nice comments in the chat. Izzy, I am completely impressed with what we've been able to accomplish in a little under an hour.
Me too. I am impressed. I impressed myself today, to be honest. So that's great.
To pull those icons and assets, maybe let's just review in our final few minutes. Friends, if you're starting from the beginning and you're new to Express, where would you find these elements? So there are a few areas. The majority of them are going to be under elements. So you click that on the left-hand side. Along the top, you're going to find, you can obviously leave it on all and do your search there, but I typically then further filter down by design assets, backgrounds, shapes, icons, and more recently charts, not relevant for today's presentation. Shapes are great for those circles, squares, rectangles, stars, and lines. And icons are where you're going to find those pre-designed icons. And you can search literally, like a carrot, or you could search more ambiguously, like vegetarian. And it's really quite an intelligently organized database of icons that would really be useful for something like this. Sub-brand, we would call it, right, Izzy? Or a badge, something that is a visual representation of your brand. It could be for a product. It could be for a collection of, say, jewelry or recipes. So many examples of what this could be. And we're hopeful that after today, you feel merch. Yes. Yes. We've talked about merch on this show.
Patch. It could be stickers. It could be tape if you're like packaging stuff. There's so much that you could use this. You could do a nice pattern with it. There's so much you could do with this.
Best of all, you can do it right here in Adobe Express. Izzy, you get bonus points today for whipping this together very quickly with this brand that you had never worked with before.
Yes.
You never cease to amaze me. I basically say, here, Izzy, go. That's what I do. I throw it at you.
But it's okay, because I called you up on it. I was like, is it my turn now? I can't wait to do this.
You were ready to go. You're
Yes.
ready to go. Well, friends, we hope you enjoy what we've created today. We always try to tackle something new, and today was definitely new, but we both feel inspired on how we could do projects like this in the future. Again, workflow probably involve Photoshop and definitely Illustrator in this example, but have fun with it. We'll update the remixable
Yes.
template. We didn't get to finish the Pinterest template. I promise you that we'll continue working on those on Thursday. I'll be in San Francisco. I fly tomorrow. Be there in person on Thursday with my dear friend Lisa Marie Todd, who I want to say thank you to for letting us use her brand and hanging out with us in the chat. Stay tuned today, and we'll be back for more great content. And then we will be. Do you have a challenge coming up, Izzy? Right?
Yes, in literally 30 minutes, you'll be seeing me
So
again for an Adobe Express challenge.
We got to promote that. I always forget to promote that. I'm like, you go take your reset, and we'll be back with your challenge coming up. And friends, we'll see you Thursday, and we'll see you back next week on Ask a Designer. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Bye.